Joseph's dreams. Jacob lived in the land where his father had stayed, the land of Canaan. This is the account of Jacob. Joseph, a young man of 17, so it's been 17 years since Joseph was born, obviously, and that will be all the way back to yes, Genesis chapter 30, verse 23 or 22. Yes, 17 years have passed. So, was tending the flocks with his brothers, the sons of Bela and the sons of Zelophehad, whatever. So the two maids, sons, his father's wives, and he brought their father a bad report about them. So he's tattling on them. Do you ever have a sibling that will tattle on you no matter what you do? Will just go up to your parents and say, "Well, they did this or they did this, blah 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 blah." Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to try, so hey. Now Israel loved Joseph more than any of his other sons, because he had been born to him in his old age. He made him an ornate robe. The meaning of the Hebrew for ritually ornate robe is uncertain. So they don't know exactly what the words mean. Most people say it's a technicolor raincoat, which is clearly the name of the movie. Or I like to call it a rainbow coat. It's because, multiple colors. Anyway, when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than any of them, they hated him and could not speak a kind word to him. So I bet you can imagine if you had a sibling who a parent gave preferential treatment to, treated better than you, treated as the obvious favorite to you. So where's the lesson in here? It's a simple lesson. Don't show favoritism. Just don't do it. Of course, you can write down any other lessons you find in here. Joseph had a dream. And when he told it to his brothers, they hated him all the more. He said to them, "Listen to this dream I had. We were binding sheaves of grain out in the field, and suddenly my shaft rose and stood upright, while your sheaves or shafts or whatever gathered around mine and bowed down to it." Now, if the theme of this was all a myth made up by the southern tribe of Israel, wouldn't it be Judah? Judah, the king, or the priestly tribe of Levi, not the northern kingdom tribe of Joseph, which the northern kingdom is seen as, because this sounds like a pretty kingly statement. That all the other tribes will come down and bow down to Joseph. His brothers said to him, "Do you intend to reign over us? Will you actually rule us?" And they hated him all the more because of his dream and what he had said. Like wanting to rule, a desperate wanting to rule over his brothers. Now, there's the thing. Back then, of course, they thought dreams were highly important. And they kind of were. So, like, this must mean, yes, he is planning to rule over us, and there is a destiny to rule over us, but we don't want him to rule over us. Of course he will. He's loved by everyone, and we're just chopped liver. The thing is, Joseph is the youngest, well, not the youngest, the second youngest son. So he's not the favored older brother. Then he had another dream, and he told it to his brothers. Listen, he said, I had another dream, and this time the sun and moon and 11 stars were bowing down to me. Sun and moon and 11 stars is the other brothers and the sun and the moon. We get sun, dad, moon, mom. When he told his father, as well as his brothers, his father rebuked him and said, What is this dream you had? Will your mother and I and your brothers actually come and bow down to the ground before you? His brothers were jealous of him, but his father kept a matter in mind, like, maybe we will. Maybe we will. Now, in Genesis, you might think something here. In Genesis chapter 33, verse 10. Genesis chapter 33, verse 10. Seven. Okay. We might think of a contradiction. Just give me Bible Hub. For the love of... Fine, apparently I have to do it manually. Wait, no, there's... Okay. Because it says, shall I mother? In the previous story, she's already dead. Well, this could be happening before that event. Or, here's some commentaries, some scholarly work of what scholars studying this think it could mean, which, yes, is evidence. Okay, according to Ellicott's commentary for English readers, Rachel was clearly dead, as Joseph had at this time 11 brethren. Oh yeah, nor did Leah ever bow down before him, for she died at Hebron. Genesis chapter 47, verse 31. The use sun, moon, and stars means Jacob's, his wives, and his children, that is, the whole family, elders and juniors, were to make obedience to Joseph. It's a general phrase like that in Genesis chapter 35, verse 26. Yes. And not to be literally interpreted. But the handmaids were both of them younger than either Rachel or Leah. They may have gone down with Jacob to Egypt. Probably Bella had done the mother's part by Joseph after Rachel's death. Yes. And there's... which makes sense. And also Bella being Rachel's handmaid. And there's... think that this interpretation is true too. Your mother. Just really mean a mother. Because back then, yes, if someone took over your the role of mother for you. They would be considered your mother in some ways. That's how it worked. Now let's go to verse 3. Ornate robe, a beautiful robe, a robe of many colors. And that's where the many colors translation comes from multicolored. Let's see if there's any talk about that. A coat of many colors. Two explanations are given for of this phrase. The first is that a long garment with sleeves or fringes. The other, that it was comprised of patchwork of various colors. The latter is a more probable interpretation from the tomb of Beni Hassan, where we learn that such dresses were worn in, it says Palestine, Israel, or Canaan technically at the time, as a train of captive Jebusites is represented upon it, clad in rich robes, the pattern of which seems to have been produced by sewing together small pieces of different colors. So also in India, beautiful dresses. Why are they saying dresses? Say tunics. Come on. Are made by sewing together strips of crimson, purple, and other colors, which he cites Robert's Oriental Illustrations, page 43. Some thought that Jacob, by this dress, marked out Joseph as the future head of the family, in place of Reuben, supposing it to indicate a priestly office borne by the firstborn, but this is doubtful, and it was Judah whom Jacob gave the right of primogeniture. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Literally, so pulpit, literally coat, tunic that reaches the ankles with sleeves reaching the wrist, commonly worn by boys and girls. Yes, boys and girls, because tunics somehow just became a girl thing. If you think about it, dresses are just fancy tunics. Or the most simpler dresses are just tunics for girls, are just the girls' tunics. Of upper ranks, there's Josephus, and there's also Samuel. So, garments. So obviously there's a reason why Joseph brothers hate him, because he's getting this like status symbol placed upon him. It's like, imagine you have family members, other brothers and sisters, and your parents buy one of them a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, and they buy you a Volkswagen Beetle. Or whatever you want to use as a term. Yes. So the Hebrew from a robe, literally a shirt, feminine singular construct. Well done. And of many colors. Flat, or of the hand or foot. What the? Why is that being translated in many colors? Where else does that show up? Yeah, tunic. Okay, tunic. That was... It also shows up as tunic. Garment. A long sleeve. Fall into colors. Many colors. So yes, I do... So either it's translated as long sleeve or many colors. Weird. A robe, yeah, a shirt, which I'm pretty sure shows up trying to Strong's as garments, coats, garments, tunic, tunic, coat, tunic, tunic, coat, tunic, coat, tunic, tunic, coat, coat. Yeah. Coat does show up as tunic and coat a whole freaking lot in Strong's. So, yeah, that's Joseph's dreams. Next, he's going to be sold into slavery by his brothers because that's seen by them as a more reasonable thing to do than actually kill him. Yeah. And go watch my other videos. And stay until, well, see you next time at what will be the end of the year for the last video of the year, where Joseph is sold into slavery. I guess one more quick thing. Joseph right now has a lot of glory and honor, and he's about to lose it. There's a theme going on here. Listen to the theme. It's important. It's important that you listen to it. Anyway,